My name's Reggie Banks, and the reason why I've put together this tutorial is to show you that you don't need a bunch of fancy bells and whistles to produce a good song. In this tutorial, I haven't used any VSTs, no synths, no external plugins, no effects whatsoever. This is purely me finding a bunch of samples online that I've just creatively pieced together. Sometimes producers overthink things, and I'm a little lazy. So in this track, all I've done is found a one-shot hit sample, and I'm piecing along the grid to make the main melody, just like this. We now have a 2-bar main melody loop. That over and over again is going to get a little bit boring, a little quick. So keep things simple. I'm going to duplicate it, make it a 4-bar loop, and on the last bar, I'm going to transpose the samples up by 3 semitones, so it feels like a complete loop. And together. Now we have the main melody, but the sample itself needs a bit of beefing up. I did say at the start of the tutorial that I'm not using any effects whatsoever, so here's a quick hack on how you can beef up a sample. What I'm going to do with the main sample is duplicate it 2 times. On the first copy, I'm going to transpose it up by 7 semitones, and on the second copy, I'm going to transpose it up by 9 semitones. What I've done here is I've created a chord-like effect on that main melody, and to make it even fatter and wider, I'm going to get that first copy, pan it hard left. On the second copy, I'm going to pan it hard right. Now we get a fatter, wider main melody with no effects whatsoever. Let's listen to it all back together. That's on, off. Now the main melody's done. The only other piece of melodic content I used to write the song is, because I'm being a little lazy, another one-shot hit. Because it follows a main melody, I put it at the start of each bar. I also pitch it up 3 semitones on the last bar, so it matches the main melody. And if you zoom in real close, you can see that I've also sliced it up the same way I do the main melody. All together, it sounds like this. I also really like the sound of this sample being pitched up and down. Because of that, I created a second melody, aside from the melodies I've shown you so far. To do so, I just duplicated that main sample a couple times, and in each duplicate, some I transpose up, some I transpose down, and as you can see, I've also sliced the end up in those tiny little jagged snippets so it fits that main melody. All together, sounds like this. You'll see where I use this sample when I play back the full song later. Now that all the melodic content's there, we need to start adding the drums. Because this is a house banger, we obviously need a 4-to-the-floor kick. For me, I don't like looking at a messy Ableton project. So to keep everything in the one place, I use a drum rack, put a whole bunch of kicks in there because it's quick and easy to go through different sounding kicks. And if you want to layer kicks, it's as easy as dragging and dropping. But in this instance, I only use the one kick. Together, it sounds like this. Now, it'd be rude of me not to get that pumping effect that all house tracks need. So to do that, I'm going to sidechain all the melodies to the kick. A quick and easy way I like to do this is grabbing all the melodic content, putting it into a single group, and then grabbing the sidechain compressor and putting it on the group itself. So all the melodies are getting sidechained at the same time in the same way, without, with. Now we need to start adding some percussion to the song. I've got 3 hat loops in this track. The first one is just a single hat sound that I found, and all I've done with this is put it on the offbeat to create a loop. The second loop is a single hat sound that I'm putting on the beat to pad out the percussion. And then the third is just an actual house loop that I found online. With all 3 loops combined, it sounds like this. Now we need to start adding some snares to the track. To keep it simple, I found 1 snare hit, but so it's not so boring and repetitive, I've made the first and second hit slightly different. To do so, I've simply duplicated it, cut the second snare in half, and use Ableton's fades, so it sounds like this. And the only other layer that I'm adding on top of the snare is a reverby hit that I'm putting on the first snare. All together with the kick, it sounds like this. And then to round things up, I added a bass to the track. And to do so, I found an 808, drag and drop that into a sampler, and then I just found the notes of the main melody, and I followed the exact notes that the main melody is doing this. And that's it. That's every element we need for the track. Like I said, simple but effective, and not one external plugin used whatsoever. Now, let's listen to that back.